Welcome back to This American Dice, Ryoko Owari, City of Lies, Episode 4, Part 2.
And we cut back to our two city mice.
That's me.
Alright. So, the fisherman's quarter, the first thing that hits you, not surprisingly, is the smell of fish. Absolutely. So, it is much more crowded. There are a lot of like fish markets. You see very, very few samurai. In the merchant's quarter, you guys saw very few. Here there are even fewer. With the exception of Thunder Guard, I'm going to go ahead and throw out, you don't see any. Mm-hmm. And the Thunder Guard are like, for the most part, they are samurai not in the same capacity that you guys are. They're like of further lesser houses, where they would accept like
foot patrol police.
They're like third sons and stuff, right?
Yeah, they're often like, or just from families that are like well down the line, where they're the beat cop kind of characters. Yeah, so the peasants here are definitely dirtier than in the merchant quarter for the most part. People seem a lot rougher and gruffer. They give you guys a wide berth of space for sure, especially because A, he's a giant, and B, you are the only samurai. But most of them are so busy often they don't notice that you're there, and then when they do, they're like, oh, and then they get out of the way. But
I'm going to do a thing. I'm going to try and find where gamblers would hang out.
okay. It sounds like a read a situation to me.
Oh, wow.
Go for
what
it.
I'm so good at.
Who would have thought?
Who thought you were
This game
really
is
good
sagacious
at
roll? What we get here?
8.
All right. So, you want to know where gamblers are, eh? That sounds like best way into gamblers.
Yeah.
All right. So, one of the absolute easiest things to do is, if you just ask one of the Thunder Guard, they'll just tell you.
Oh, yeah. That's fine.
Yeah. Right. So you run into one of the Thunder Guard and you ask,
It's like the
and they
cards
kind of
in
like
Stormwind.
They kind of like
Shit,
they
this
kind
is
of like look you over for a second. Are you guys wearing your badges?
Yeah, we're on official business.
Yeah.
We're
All right.
investigating the murder of somebody. Why would I be wearing my badge?
You have to lift up your armor, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah. Right on the outside. But so I think at first the guy's like. I think at first he says like, oh, well, I mean, the license quarter is where you could go for whatever you might need or whatever you might want.
Where do
And then,
you go?
Well, we're unfortunately, we're not seeking pleasure right now. This is official business that we're looking for. Thunder Son.
Thunder Guard son.
yeah, this guy does not have a name.
Thundy.
Nameless boy.
Go ahead and make a manipulate roll
Ooh. Oof.
for this.
Hey, is this related to sex or vice?
Yeah, it's absolutely related to vice.
I got a +1.
He kisses you deeply. Oh my god, what are we doing? He says.
I couldn't remember the words for it.
Still a 9. Why are we doing this?
Still a 9?
So close.
I'll just go ahead and tell you. So you gotta. This guy just wants to be sure that you're cool about it. That he's not going to get in trouble for knowing where this is. That's all. That's all that this guy's concerned with. That probably should have been some kind of read a person roll, but that's his concern.
How are their masks? Or their helmets, right?
Yeah, they have helmets, and their helmets act as masks.
Yeah, so I think Taiyo might say, like, maybe seeing him, like, hesitate. Just like, oh, Thundy. I really appreciate these guards, or these helms that Jocho made for all of you. They do hide your continents very well. I probably wouldn't be able to recognize you from anyone else. So I'm sure it helps in, well, ensuring peace in the city. Wink.
Alright, maybe say like, oh, and he'll just say, he'll basically say there's a ton of places, but the biggest place that's always the happening place is the houses of lean meat. It is in a neighborhood called the Crab Caves.
Perfect. Let's head over there.
Cool.
Sounds like a whorehouse.
Whoa.
Yeah.
The crap.
The Crab Caves. So, all right. Meanwhile, back with Hiker.
Back at the ranch. Oh, back at the cave.
Oh,
You guys are going through these foothills, and it's like a good long schlep till you got to get to this cave. And this guy kind of asks you, like, if you don't mind me asking, how'd you find out about the caves?
Read in this tour book, the tour guide book.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad that people hear about it.
Do you get many visitors?
Not too many. It's quite a hike, and you need a good guide.
Have you seen anybody leave from it recently?
He says, oh, people come and go to visit it. Very beautiful, but not a lot of folks. Like I said, it's a bit of a hike.
The spirits warned me that outsiders should not interfere with the cave. How much have you visited it for yourself?
And he says, I lived in that village since I was a kid. And, came up here when I was just a wee lad. And now it's one of the few characters I can do a voice with that's not insane. So I came up here, I've been coming up here ever since when I was just a young boy. I started acting as a guide for folks who come from town. But like I said, not too often.
Have you heard of danger or people being harmed?
He says, "Well, it is a tough hike. So if you're not sure of foot, could be pretty bad." This guy's an older guy. He's maybe someone in his late 50s. He's old. He's like, if you're not sure of foot, not a good plan. Bad heart, bum knee, arthritis in the ankle.
all of these conditions.
All of these
I
conditions.
These are all disadvantages from the family.
Yes. Are you suffering from any of these? My cousin's a lawyer. No. So he says there's lots of reasons why a person wouldn't want to come up here. Plus, it's out of the way. What a pain. But if it's very beautiful.
What a trick.
Indeed.
Are you looking for someone in particular?
Sure-footed, you say. He says, so you can do it? Right? You're able to go to the caves with no problem?
And he says, well, I've been doing it since I was just a young lad.
That's following up on my theory.
All right. Let's read this person.
All right, sounds good to me. Let's try not to say the names of the moves outright all the time, but go for it. So what's that?
Pretty good.
8 plus?
8.
Oh, just 8.
8.
All right.
A solid, nice, well-rounded 8.
So yes, I would say I could. If I hadn't been doing it since I was young, I don't know if I could. These old bones. Is your servant with you as well?
Nah.
Okay.
This guy's legit. Hey. What do you say about the old man?
He says if I hadn't been doing this since I was a lad, I don't know if these old bones could do it. But been doing it so long, it's like second nature, like getting up in the morning.
Yeah? What's he wearing?
Well, what are you wearing, young man? You answered never.
I don't ask him that.
No, you just look at him. He's just wearing like a peasant, like a peasant's like vest, and
He's a lad.
ooh, he's probably wearing something not unlike this getup that this guy's wearing, where he's wearing kind of the
trash clothes.
above the knee shorts
saying anything, but-
kind of thing that runs over, and he has maybe like a hiking pack, and he's carrying a walking stick. He's got kind of a well more than a 5 o'clock shadow, but it's all gray, and he's kind of balding. He's missing a few teeth. He's got a twinkle in his eye.
That sounds like the hiker I know.
Also, he has pouches, lots of pouches.
Lots of pouches, huh?
He put the pennies that that Yugare gave him in one of the pouches. Every now and again, there's a slight jingle of the pennies that he gave him. Yeah, watch out there. slippery.
Just wanted to know if I could see his calves, whether they're hiking calves.
Oh yeah, they're bony old legs, but he's.
You can tell they're.
You can see those calves are working good.
You'd be any stairmaster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well.
Once Aji is like satisfied that this guy is who he says he is,
But we haven't asked one of these questions yet, so he still has his hold to go if he wants. But I'm just because remember we're just doing this as a conversation. Mm-hmm. So
I just want to hear about his life story. Like once I get the
Most
sense.
interesting man we've met so far.
Just real quick, tell me everything that's ever happened to you.
Real quick, we have a little bit of a hike.
We've got a long walk. I just like.
What's your entire life story?
I'm not suspicious.
Wait, what do you want to do?
I want to hear
just
his life story.
generally.
I did go to a party once, and a dude was like, "So what's your story?" And that was his way of asking, like, "Tell me about yourself." I'm like,
Just you talk.
Oh yeah, and he does, and he tells him, he's like, "Well, I remember growing up here, and we would every such and such time we'd bring in the sorghum harvest or something like that." And he's like, "Just enough to, pay local taxes to blah blah blah." And
Like I'm trying to get a sense of like what life is like for people out here. Like they're so close to the city, like.
So they're far enough away where people like leave them alone. Mm-hmm. Like he says, don't get a lot of people coming out here. Nothing fancy. He kind of like points that out a bunch. People are very very poor, and he's like, people make do with what they got. I've always been a man who liked these mountains, the solitude, the quiet, the journey.
Because I lived out kind of in a secluded area, but we were rich.
And he's like, well, no one down there. He's like, the people down there are pleased to raise their crops and raise their kin, and here I am going up in a mountain.
Is he telling the truth? Sure.
About anything in particular?
I'm sorry that I brought up that you could be fit. Forgive me. This has been a lot of really deep introspection. into
About
this
what's at the
further
cave.
life.
About what's at the cave?
Is he telling the truth about the cave?
I don't think he's talking. What has he said about the cave so
You
far?
said that there's only a little bit of foot traffic. Some people come and go, but like nobody's like staying there, as far as he has said.
Yeah, for the most part, I can't think of anything he said that is not true. With this, yeah.
All right,
Sounds good to me.
I'm good till we get there.
All right. And you guys get to a small cave, the mouth of a small cave where you'll kind of have to stoop to get in. And they'll be like, "Watch your head now."
Wait, what was your love again?
Poetry.
That's right.
I'm glad Ishi didn't come here. He wouldn't have fit.
Oh, yeah, it's a tough. I don't know who you're talking about, but you do watch your head.
He sounds big.
Wasn't talking to you.
massive.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, Lord. I apologize. There I go with my mouth again.
Talking to me because I'm the one of the only other two guys here, and you're kind of looking at me.
Just me and the ghost of my dead sister. Oh my God.
Dun. That was the thing I left out of my
yeah.
life story. My sister died here.
That's who I was talking to.
Yeah. So you guys stoop in, and the inside. For a second, when you get in, you think you can see like a sparkle up ahead, but it's pretty dark.
These guys.
And he says, like, "I'd light a
Oh shit!
light a match or light a torch to head in, but you won't need it too long."
Dun, dun, dun.
Excuse me.
Why is that?
I was so right.
And he's like, I don't mean to be rude, but the surprise will be more interesting, I swear. So, the houses of lean meat. Could somebody read us the description from the?
I don't know if that was in there.
Is it not?
I don't remember.
No, it's not. Lean meat is in there, not the
Yeah.
houses of lean meat. I apologize.
What is isn't it just a person?
So,
Yeah,
the houses of lean meat. So when you guys get there, there's a large and awkward structure that seems to be made out of two houses that have been ramshackled together into one house.
Is this a duplex?
Yes. So I'd say there's even like a small, like almost foot traffic path that this kind of blocks, where it even crossed this area, where it was like an unofficial little road, and now this house kind of takes up this space because it crossed the street to join it together. And this by street I mean just like footpath between two other things. But you guys get there at 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon.
Okay.
And it's hustling and bustling. There's people coming and going.
Maybe before, as we see this house and we're going in there, it's like, Ishi, the Thunder Guard seemed to not maybe take our station into account while he was answering these questions in this seedier area. Maybe it would be best if we leave that mask off for now, especially if we're asking more.
All right, I guess that we can just to keep a lower profile. I am, obviously a giant man in full armor, and obviously a samurai. So
Yeah, we're
it's
not.
only a little bit.
I think anyone astute enough will probably be able to figure it out, but if they don't have the constant reminder, maybe they'll be more likely to talk to us.
All right, that sounds fine.
So, in short, no, Austin, we don't have.
Okay,
Yep,
no problem.
Got that shit.
All right.
Talk through it though.
There's maybe like kind of a burlier guy at the door, or at one of the doors.
Burly meat.
Burly.
Oh, that's him.
His name's Burley. He's my frat bro, Burley. Burley. So, and he's like, and he sees you guys, and he kind of looks you over. He just says like, "Oh, you guys coming in to play some games?"
Yeah, I've actually heard of the proprietor here, Lean Meat. Is he around?
Oh, he might be here.
Yeah, it'd be great if I could see his. He's supposed to be a legendary gambler. It'd be great if I could, if not play with him, at least spectate.
This guy, because you guys are like, you are clearly samurai, even if you
Yeah.
put like your badges.
I mean,
away.
look
I feel we didn't.
Yeah.
full
dress
armor,
differently.
And he's like,
massive.
I think this guy is kind of like, hold on. And he like pops inside for a second, and he's like, just kind of awkwardly waiting.
Or
With you?
supposed to follow him?
Or he pops in just for a second, and then somebody else comes out and talks to him, and is like, yeah, that's like they can come in.
Oh, gotcha.
And so you guys come in, and yeah, this place is like a shanty. It's not a shithole. It's nice, but it's garish. Is the best way that I can put it. Like it's very, very
Garish meat.
Garish meat. Hi, I'm Garish meat.
It's like those slot machines you find at the gas station on the interstate.
Kind of like that kind of thing. So there are like dice tables. There are people that are drinking, and there's a few people who are kind of drunk, and a guy comes out to meet you at some point in kind of like more of the back area, and he's a dude with a short beard. He's like fairly handsome. He seems fairly spry. He's maybe in his 30s, late 20s or early 30s, and he's wearing kind of like a nicer. He's wearing peasant's clothes, but they seem like they're made out of nice material. And I think he's wearing. This doesn't show him with that in the thing, but I think he's wearing a bunch of jewelry. And he's like,
feels right.
and he says, and he's like, gentlemen, and he sees when you turn that you're samurai, and he kind of like bows, and he's like, Samurai Samas, how can I help you? Welcome. Please, a drink?
That would be great.
He's like, oh, well, of course. And there's the equivalent of like a bar, and he'll go and he'll be like, don't worry about it, so and so. Go check out blah blah blah. And there's somebody who like is kind of a bartender, and he'll step behind the bar. I'm not sure how this would be set up in an old Japanese city, but I'm just going to pretend it's a regular bar.
Sure.
So he steps behind the bar, and he pours you guys a drink, and he's like, does like a salute, like welcome, and I'll drink it.
Yeah.
And he's like, wonderful. How can I help you?
Well, came here to admire this place, but also we were hoping to ask you get some information.
Oh.
Just to chat a bit.
Oh, of course. This is a place where lots of people come talk. Absolutely, but I have to say, you should probably have something a bit stronger than this, right? Here. And he kind of looks you up and down, and says, "Of course, here we are." And he takes out like a bottle of like, rather than, because sake is wine, he takes out like a bottle of booze. And he's like, "All right, here we go." And yeah, so socho I think is one of the things. So it's just like, all right, here's liquor, and so he'll be like, "Please come with me," and he'll bring you over to a table where there's like a few people playing. What's that, boy? Trouble.
That's the musical instrument.
Yeah, there definitely is someone actually playing a musical instrument here, and there's some folks who are like kind of singing along. The place is very loud and boisterous, though.
Yeah.
And he'll come over, and there's maybe 2 or 3 people who look like they're just losing constantly, and he's like, "Here, grab a seat." And he wants to sit down at this dice table, basically. And so, and he's like, "Here you are, gentlemen," and he'll pour that. And I think there's a dude who's just kind of like already pretty drunk and has a cup, and he like kind of scooches it over to be like, "And one for old Jimmy too," like that kind of thing. And Lean Meat is like, "There you go, Jimmy," and he passes it back to him, and Jimmy's like, "Thank you." Yes, that happens.
That's an important integral part of the story. Sorry.
So we're at this whole table with him, or there's a bunch of people at the table with us, rather.
I'll say there's that guy, and then there's the equivalent of like somebody who like works at the table, kind of a thing, who or like minds the table.
The dice dealer.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work, but so yeah, he's like, "Oh, I'm a fan." He's like, "Fortunes and Wins is my favorite game." And he says, "I always feel it's a great idea to leave things up to the fortunes. I mean, it made this city wealthy. We got that giant temple. Can't be for nothing. And what else guides the dice? I mean, honest dice."
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I have to say, I've only recently come into the city. I'm a new transplant, I guess, and I've heard many stories about you.
It's like, oh, I hope they're all good. I'm mostly here to have a good time. Like I said, I like a good game. Nothing out of the norm. You hear somebody drop something in the back, and he like looks over at it. And it's like, some people.
Oh, just some people.
Yeah.
He smiles a bunch.
Might look at you.
You look at me. What are we asking about? Asking about Ample?
Where we can find Ample.
Here, gentlemen. Why don't we play around here?
Sure.
Sure. I think this is the first.
The first game of gambling I have.
The buy-in is
partaken in.
2 wealth.
I think this is the first thing I'm told you shouldn't do while gambling, but I've never played this game before.
It's like, oh, well, always. It's like, oh, it's not too tough. And he'll explain fortunes and wins
Is that just like craps?
to you.
Or
There actually
what is that?
is a system to use it. We can play some other dice game if you want to do that, to have us actually gambling at the table. But if you want to just say we're playing dice, that's cool by me.
I feel Taiyo is mostly trying to be like, I'm cool, I'll play this thing. Like, you can trust me more than like I want to get 4 Heineken kegs.
Okay.
I have 2 3s.
So it sounds like you're actually trying to manipulate him into trusting you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds
All
like
right.
what you're doing.
So go ahead and make that elegant roll.
Hey, does this deals with vice, eh?
It does.
Get that? Yeah.
Oh my
El
gosh.
Gigante. Yeah.
I understand why scorpions own this place.
Is that the same cat?
Go back around, Felix. The window's open. What are you doing?
Made a loop back to the front door.
So just a 9.
Just a 9.
I think it's
All
just
right.
because he's a little late.
And you guys kind of are play. You guys are playing, and he's like, "Oh," and he just explains like a few like rolls of the dice to you, what that would be, and how you could bet with this or that. And then he says,
I feel like Taiyo may have even played this before. but
"It's like I'd say like
might
it's
have been
a
lying.
very popular game.
Yeah.
Like it is the equivalent of crap. So like if you probably knew a dice game, it would be that kind of a deal. And they." So you want him to, and he says like a lot of people come through here, and it's like a lot of people come through here and want to know this and want to know that, and it's tough to make sure that you're not getting involved in something that is going to be real, is going to get ugly in some way or another, or going to cause somebody some kind of problem. And like I said, I'm just looking to have a good time, make a little money in the process. I don't want to hurt anybody.
Well, yeah.
So he's kind of just saying,
Scary.
he's kind of just trying to say like, how can I trust you? So almost like, what is that promise that you have for the 9 roll?
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I don't know. I really don't know any of this guy's like ulterior motives. Really, I think I kind of want to like read him as a
Check the
person.
dossier.
Sure.
I want to know who this guy is.
Sounds good.
But
His jewelry's fake.
what?
Oh, yeah. I have maybe an idea too after this.
Not a bad roll.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's 12.
12.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah, and keep in mind it can be a conversation, so you don't have to
Yeah. What
blow all these at once.
is I mean, we would love to get to know you more, and you seem like an excellent ally to have in this city. But I'm not really sure what we can do for you.
He's like, oh, well, like I said, I'm a man who likes simple things. I enjoy games, enjoy a good time. He's like, I like money as much as the next guy, but I don't want to get involved in anything nasty. So when people come asking things, I want to make sure I'm not going to be hurting anybody.
There's nothing nasty about.
Hurting folks isn't too good for business. You got to keep the tables moving.
There's nothing nasty about what my partner and I are trying to figure out here. We're just do I feel like he would be? Does he seem like super scummy? Does this place seem super scummy, or does he want to try to like live above board? Like what kind of feeling do I get off this guy? Do I think he'd be super?
What's your character really feeling?
Yeah, sure. Like, does he hate police officers? If I revealed that we were Emerald Magistrates, it'd be like, oh shit, I'm not doing nothing.
He doesn't seem to. This seems like the kind of. He seems like he's the kind of guy who breaks the law, but isn't involved in the worst stuff possible.
The Godfather.
Yeah.
So
On Corleone.
So he seems like a guy who's definitely seems to be a criminal. I'd say, like, as you look around, you're probably like, is this place allowed to be here?
Yeah. Now the type of work my partner and I are in, we're some of the new Emerald Magistrates for the city of Rokugan, and we're just trying to, get our feelers out, to get a feeling for the town and to get to know some of the finest proprietors of places that would be.
Actually, we came here because our notes from our predecessor said that you were one of the most virtuous people in this quarter.
It's like, oh well.
I don't know if you had any personal business with him, but he had, or she, I forget. She had very nice things to say about you.
Oh,
so it's not the dead one, but the one before.
okay.
That's coming from a lie.
And he says, "Well, I certainly appreciate it. So, how is it then that I can help you, Magistrate Samus?"
Well, I hope that we can start a relationship. I know that it's harder for us to, especially in this quarter, this side of the city, to understand what's going on, or to move as freely or easily as you, or hear things that are going on. Maybe we can come to rely on you for that. And I think just making the show of looking around and just like as long as you say, continue on your way of not doing anything illegal, trying to point out like, oh, this place has got to be legal, just like you were saying, like, then we'll make sure that you can keep doing what you're doing.
It's like, oh, well, I appreciate your commitment to all of us. So
Is that enough for a 7 to 9?
I think so. So it's like, had you mentioned Ample?
Maybe.
No, I think that's going to be.
Yeah,
I think
because I
that's
was
what
like,
we're rolling
I was like,
into.
I don't think you guys have mentioned him yet. I knew he was like, well,
Yeah, so I think that's what
All right.
Taiyo will say.
Wonderful. We're specifically looking for a deputy of the dearly departed
Naratokai?
Narutokai.
oh, I hope
The
he's not.
dearly departed Narutokai, a man by the name of Ample.
I hope he's not in trouble.
I don't think so, but we have to check
Ample?
everything. We have to meet everybody and check everybody off the list. You of course know what I mean. Everybody knows something.
Well, you don't suspect him in that crime?
No,
Hope not.
I don't think he had
No.
anything to do with it.
Oh,
We've only
Which is entirely
heard that he
true.
was a dutiful
Dutiful
deputy.
oh, well, he's certainly been working here. He's certainly has worked for me dutifully as well. And truthfully, he's been sulking a bit lately after having lost his position as a deputy.
And do you know where he might be? Or where we might be able to find him?
All right. So he says, "Oh well, I mean, he's done I've only had him working the door lately because he's been a bit sulky."
Oh,
And
He might look
you see
over early.
yeah, and so there's a guy near the door, and you notice this
Early
kind of
meat.
big, dumb, fleshy-looking guy who's like who looks like a
real fat.
yeah. He's a big lad.
He's big guys.
It's like Kingpin Marvel.
Yeah, like that kind of like big dude.
I think you might have said that last time or something.
I don't know.
Or you said something about Kingpin.
All
I don't
right.
know if it was in relation to him or not.
So, and he says, "Well, feel free to speak with him if you need. He'll certainly be happy to hear from you."
Oh,
Wonderful.
I
Thank you
really
so much.
appreciate that.
Oh,
Well,
Thank you for the fine. What is it called? I'll just say liquor.
the yeah.
Whatever.
So I think Socho is one of the things, but The booze.
I might go to Ichi if maybe it might be a good idea if you go over there first, so that he's not overwhelmed by 2 magistrates at once.
Sure.
And I can I'll just keep lean meat here company in that case.
That sounds wonderful. Yeah, I'll thank the man for his wonderful socho, and then I will stand up and go to Mr. Fat Boy over at the door.
All right. Okay, we're gonna hop back to our mountain lads.
Perfect. Their mountain lads
All
are
right,
getting
so
killed.
he says you won't need it too long. You won't,
His voice
let's
is dead.
light a torch. You won't need it too long.
Maybe there's just a surprise party. Or maybe they're dead.
Do the Tim Allen.
I mean,
I also do the Tim Allen, and by that I mean a bunch of cocaine.
I read in the dossier thing that like it's a beautiful sight inside.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was in the information we got from the previous magistrate. So I'm not super suspicious
Okay.
about what this guy's saying about like needing light or not.
How about the art?
I am a little worried still that the Kami warned me basically not to meddle with this cave as an outsider. But
That's why you brought back up.
yeah, I think I'm just fine going in.
Okay. So you guys light a torch or a small candle or something like that, just enough where he's like, "Watch your step now. Watch your step. Oh, watch out there. Loose rock over here." And
He's moving, no problem.
it's not nothing you have to make a roll about or anything like that.
No, I mean, like, narrative-wise, like, we kind of need the light. You know, he's like, because he memorizes this place.
Yeah, probably. He's been here before, so he knows the situation. It's a narrow, cramped opening, but after you kind of walk down maybe 15, 16 feet of pretty dark tunnel that you kind of have to like really hunch in and maybe scooch through and that kind of thing. At times, maybe you have to take your swords off to kind of get through some of the areas. It suddenly opens up into this big, spacious kind of cave, and there's actually some light that seems to be coming in here. And you can see it almost looks like a scene where there was like an underground waterfall in this cave, but it's frozen. And there seems to be light, possibly some aspect of it connects up to like either an opening up at the top, or maybe that opening is some of the ice through this thing.
So
but it's
dead.
faintly lit, and there are these like spiraling kind of columns that are like stalactites or stalagmites, but they look much more almost like braided. But they're definitely these like kind of natural things, and he's like, what a beauty she is. Oh,
Is it cold enough for everything to be frozen in here? I mean, it must be cold in here.
it's definitely cold.
Was it cold outside? Like, or is there
Once you
big
got into the
temperature
foothills
shift?
and like up, it's maybe cool, but inside it's colder. Mm-hmm. It's not like why would there be ice? It's 85 degrees. So, but no, it's spring outside.
I want to try to use the
spooked?
wisdom of the kami to figure out
Be
this
like, what the fuck
place.
is going on here?
All right,
You spooked?
Nice.
and he's like,
Or spooked.
I'd say many people are stunned by its beauty.
7.
7.
Good one.
I would like to know what is hidden from me.
What is hidden from
Nice.
you?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Ooh. So you ask, and the Earth Kami grumble a response to you that there are.
Really?
That's what you've been hearing the whole time.
They've
I
been
set it
trying to
up.
warn you.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
They say that there is there are. So they say there's a presence that comes here that is dark.
Done.
Okay.
So it's not always here, but comes steady like the blink of an eye. And you know with Earth Kami, they're very old and very slow. And so blink of an eye might be
Longer.
a much longer period than that.
All right. Well, if they're gonna like grumble stuff out, or maybe like I understand it but nobody else does, but like everyone can hear the rumbling.
I think yeah, maybe you hear like a very brief rumble, but yeah, for the most part, it's speaking to you.
I think then before that,
The rock faces from Labyrinth talk to you.
okay.
Beware.
I was gonna say I want to whisper when I ask. I'll whisper out loud like, "What is it?" But it'll like echo through the cave as a whisper that like gets louder and louder, and then
Dramatic,
it comes back as a like almost like it's the last echo of my original question, but it's actually the Earth Kami's answer.
That's pretty cool, actually.
And then I'll, I guess, say to Aji, like, we didn't find what we sought, but we found a new mystery.
And how'd you find that out? That little shake in the ground?
Don't hear tremors like that very often. I don't. I'm becoming the Pepperidge Farm man. I remember.
When I
Go back to old man. There it is.
when I have a question and ask the kami, they often respond with a riddle. So yes, the rumble you heard was they.
Must be some mysterious dragon type stuff. I don't understand these, but I'll believe you. Is there anything else here, hiker?
Oh no! I mean, just these beautiful formations. This beautiful sight really makes you wonder.
Do they get you hard?
He's like, "Oh, it's pumping pretty hard from that hike. Absolutely." He's like, "You're a priest then?"
Yeah.
I think he'll even use like the more peasanty term. That's like he'll say, "You're a wizard."
A frou-frou man.
Yeah, like he'll call it like you're a wizard, or say something like that, like not like the proper term, like in the same way that I'm trying to think, like if someone was like, "I'm a police officer," and blah blah blah, and somebody was like, "Oh, you're a copper, huh?" Like that kind of thing. Like he uses like a real backwoodsy kind of term.
You're a shogunja.
Yeah. So he says like, "Oh, a wizard, eh?" He's like, "Can you tell my fortune?"
You have
It's bullshit.
already told me of the wisdom you possess. So to say that your life would bring more wisdom and the same joy you've experienced throughout life would be what I expect.
Me wise? Oh shucks. Well, thank you.
That was a good dragon response.
Beautiful, huh? Love this place.
Quite nice.
This wasn't done.
And he says, "Well, I'm sure y'all will want to be heading back." And he'll kind of start turning to head back, but you're running the show here.
Isn't this called like it's called the Caves of the Moon?
Oh, yes. A lot of people call it that.
You've been here during at nighttime?
Oh, it's tougher to get up here at night. Trickier pathway. I mean, I could.
So you've never done it.
You lords coming back?
Perhaps.
He says, "But never done." Well, I remember once as a lad, there was a storm. Didn't want to go back down. Want to go back down through the hill pass in the rain. So I stayed up here. I won't lie, a little spookier. Still beautiful, but spooky. The wind whistles through the cave mouth. The mouth of the cave.
The whistler.
Yeah, and it
Whistle part.
makes a moaning noise. Maybe you heard it earlier, like the groaning of a man's stomach. But no, it makes a noise, a little haunting.
Well, on the way back down,
Oh, we're leaving?
yeah. Got anything else to do up here?
No, let's leave.
Yeah. I'll just kind of say to Aji, and not as much to Hiker, that the kami said, I forget what, but something about the blink of an eye, and that
I told you.
There's a dark thing that comes here regularly, as in the blinking of an eye.
right, and I suspect the blinking of an eye is a phase of the moon when this cave should be the most at its most dangerous, and when the secrets would be most vulnerable to discovery.
Did I make a remark about that? I thought.
Perhaps when it's full, or perhaps when it's, what's the word for opposite of full? Yeah, new moon. But I doubt it will help us with our current predicament.
I don't believe in this mystical stuff. Only in the sharpness of my sword.
So you hop over to Ample.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think when you get over there is like a drunk guy who's being belligerent, and he's very big, and he just kind of like picks this guy up and like by like the back of his shirt, and does indeed just kind of bodily throw the guy like out of the place, and he's like, "Don't come back." I think he says, "Come back." And he says, "Don't come back." And then he says, "Till you're not so drunk."
Don't come back unless you want.
Yeah, then go for it, but just not right now. Ample, is it? I was like, behind him.
Do I know you?
No, I'm just, I'm the new Emerald Magistrate, and I have some questions about your former...
Oh, what's your name?
I am Ishii.
Oh, Ishii-san. Well, hello. Everyone calls me Ample. My real name is
Unpronounceable.
It's Biggins. No. Onka, O-N-K-A, but Ample, everybody calls him.
Ample, yeah. Yes. Oh, well, I just had Mrs. Yogo Osako said that I should come ask you some questions because you might have some ideas who could have committed such an atrocity.
Oh, you mean Narutokai's death?
Yes.
Oh, it's sad. I was real sad about it. He was a nice guy. I miss working for him.
Well, where were you when all this happened?
Oh, it's bad that happened. It was my day off. I think. I wasn't with him.
Yuga said you, before you worked with Mr. Narutokai, that you,
Oh yeah, working for him was real nice.
you hung out with some people that were not, dare I say, the nicest of folks.
I was like, no, well, that was all right. I mean, I worked here, doing this basically.
Oh, really?
This
All the
voice
time?
keeps changing, but yeah.
Do you have any other friends?
Oh, I got
Any other
lots of
groups
friends.
people? Do you hang out with any of the firefighters? Yeah, that's just what they're called. I don't know why my brain was like.
I've hung out with them. I've hung out with them a few times here and there, but I worked for Narutokai-sama for a while, and mostly worked here.
Mostly worked here, huh?
Yeah, and for Narutokai-sama, that was a good job.
Oh no,
I liked doing that.
Why did Narutokai-sama hire you?
Oh well, I'm real strong. See?
Yes.
And he flexes his muscles. And again, it's not. This isn't like sweet defined. He's just he's very big.
Well, I did want to say something to lean me.
Go for it.
As,
We'll hop over. So he's like, yeah, I'm real strong. And we'll cut on that.
Turn around, you see that shit?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
He's here looking down below, and there's a giant man going, woo!
And Relene meets there. Taiyo might lean over and say, "Yeah, actually, since we are friends now, I was wondering. I brought my family with me, and I want to make sure that we stay away from any real dangerous places. So, do you know, just so I can advise my wife, which place would be where nobles would go to chase the dragon?"
He says, well, I mean, that can be arranged so many places. A lot of, it's like, I'm sure, fancy establishment, one of the fancy establishments in the license on Teardrop Island, the licensed quarter, is could subtly provide that to someone.
And do you know of anyone in particular that
I mean, if
the nobles visit more often?
and
Have you heard of any?
oh well, I mean, if they're really looking for something there, I mean, the two most famous geisha houses are the House of Foreign Stories and the House of the Morning Sun. I'm sure there's nothing that they can't provide.
Oh, I see. So these two geisha houses also cater to other appetites.
Oh, well. I mean, a place like that, I can't imagine they could let their customers go wanting for something, but there are other places people can get things, I'm sure. But, I mean, those are by far the fanciest, by far the nicest places in the city. I've not been myself, but
Oh no, of course not. I would never suspect that.
so with it, it's more of a class issue that he's like not really able to go to that place.
Poor guy.
So
Well, Taiyo will definitely spin it as,
Yeah.
of course, why would you do that?
is there something else that you want to try to ask him subtly?
Do you know?
Really, just places to get to opium. Or places that are popular for other people to get opium, really?
Asking for a friend, of course. Of course.
I think if you do another, you could maybe read him.
I give that a shot.
Mm-hmm. 12. All right.
How could I get your character to just maybe? It's gonna be tricky because it's a class thing. But how could I get him to kind of provide me or just tell me a list of these various opium places, or the most popular ones, I guess, that he would know of? Like maybe not just nobles, but just in general.
I'd say if you prove if you were to become just a
If you were to
subtly be a customer here, or maybe you don't even need to be a specific customer, but patronize the place in some kind of way, he could definitely help you out with that stuff. So I think he'll mention like the equivalent of for my high rollers. I always try to help him out with however I can. Of course, and he'll kind of mention like you guys coming here, maybe not the world's best for business, but patronizing the place in some way or another could certainly help out. and as if you were a high roller.
I see. Well, absolutely. If we're to feed this blossoming friendship, I think maybe you'll be seeing much more of me.
Oh, well, excellent.
Also, what does your character intend to do?
So he
Intends to make money.
Yeah, he wants to keep running his place. He wants to make sure he's not gonna get like arrested or shaken down,
No, he doesn't.
kind
wants
of.
to be a problem.
And he definitely wants money.
Okay, pretty easy.
I don't know how corrupt we can get. So I feel like every day we're slipping slowly more towards being very corrupt.
We're fine. We're good.
Yeah, I'm just saying. This man's accepted a bribe already, and it's been like a month.
What? They didn't cause buildings to burn down.
Wow. Burn.
I said corruption, not.
Incompetent.
Yeah.
Come on.
So this is we're describing the difference between negligence and malfeasance.
Same outcome.
All right, so I might say, what was the last thing? Oh yeah, it's like, of course, I see that you're a man of business. I appreciate that, especially in a city like this. It must be perhaps one of the most, after honor, of course, one of the most important things to have.
Yeah.
It's good. And
Whenever I value wealth, it's a virtue, right?
quiet peasant behind me.
Sorry, I'm Jerry. I'm drunk again.
But no, and I'm sure that I'll just look like right at him now. Just like he's not even probably supposed to make eye contact, but I'll try and make eye contact with him and say like, and I'm sure I can trust you. And is your character telling the truth?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Good. Then I think this will be a good friendship, and maybe that's when big eye contact across the room.
Yeah, and he's just like, I'm so strong.
Oh well, I hope to see you again soon. And I'll leave.
As you head out, he said if someone wanted to hear the dragons sing, of course, I would. There are places other than Teardrop Island to do it. I wouldn't recommend those to a nobleman.
Oh,
But there are certainly places aside from the licensed quarter to find such things. If you were to avoid, certainly.
right. I just want to make sure my family's safe. So maybe if you had an idea of which of those other establishments are good to avoid, maybe next time I see you could let me know.
We'll switch over to what he's doing.
Yeah. Do you want to come over before I start threatening this man?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I assumed. That's why I was like, all right, maybe I'll just good day DJ, and then I'm about to just start throwing fists.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe we do like share a look, and I'm like, okay, let me get out of here. And I come over to you. And who's your new friend?
This is my good friend Taiyo. He's an Emerald Magistrate with me, and he just. I think he'd want to ask you a couple questions as well.
Oh, 2 Emerald Magistrates?
Yes, it's true.
There used to just be one.
Yeah, I heard you worked with the last one quite closely.
I worked for him. What's your name?
Taiyo.
Oh, hello.
Bayushi Taiyo.
Oh, so I worked for Naratokai when he was the magistrate. He's gone now.
I heard.
That stinks. That was a good job.
Did you want?
He's connected to people that could have killed Narutoshi. That's
right.
what I know.
Yeah, and so Ample, I guess in the what are we at? Fisherman quarter?
Yeah, yes, we're in the fisherman's quarter.
Fisherman's quarter. I know in order to protect Naratokai, you must have had to fight some really shady people.
Oh, we stopped guys who were ninjas, and I'm very strong.
Yeah. Do you know? It seemed to be a group of people. Actually, you know, what's a subtle way to say this?
A gang.
Were the ones who Naratokai saw last. There we go. Do you know what sort of group of people might have had it out for him?
Oh, he was a great guy.
Did some groups of people think he wasn't a great guy?
Oh, he went after those ninja real bad. Mm-hmm. One time, I didn't mean to, but one time he got upset. He wanted to talk to one, but he had a soft head. And his head was too soft, and I accidentally cracked it. He went after them real bad.
So these then ninja possibly were the ones who
They didn't like him. Get real upset about it.
Does he have any other groups of people that didn't appreciate him?
Oh, he didn't.
How do you get along with these firemen?
He didn't. I don't think he dealt with the firemen too much. I don't really remember. He didn't like that bandit, but I never saw the bandit.
Fade?
Yeah. Faint.
That's fucking.
I don't know.
I told you to stay out of here, Tommy. Oh, just let me get out of here.
Well, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Can you tell us any more about these ninja?
It's like they were always stealing, and they threatened people up.
Did you know anybody personally that may have had beef with
Lean beef.
lean beef with
Naratokai.
Naratokai? Oh no, most people liked him a lot.
There must have been somebody that you could think of that, I don't know, could do this heinous thing. I mean, obviously you wouldn't think that they would, but
Probably those ninja, but I don't know. I was real sad to hear that he died. That was bad. I like that job a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get anything from him.
You know, I could work for you guys too.
Well, we're thinking about going to the Leatherman's jacket today.
Oh, the leather worker
Sure.
quarter?
this is true. We could
Oh.
use somebody who could show us around the place.
Oh, well, I don't know too much about over there.
Oh,
But-
surely you know more than us. You've lived here in this city.
Yeah, I know where it is. I can bring you there.
Well, sure you must know Eyebrows, right? You guys worked with him.
Oh yeah, he's the dead body man.
Yeah, we just want to talk to him, and
Oh.
you could bring us to him, right?
Sure, he works at the creamery.
Yeah. Creamery.
I'm gonna make the same joke you did.
He works at the creamery.
All right. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
We're hoping to
showing
see him
us.
today. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, I gotta stay here, but if I
Oh, I'm sure Leamy would let you leave for a couple hours. I mean,
if I work for you guys, I can show you around whenever.
yeah, but this is an introductory thing. We got to get to know you first. You know what I mean, Handful? We gotta know you. Let me just.
Yeah, we've seen that we've heard that you work well for one Emerald Magistrate, but
Oh,
we have to
yeah.
make sure that you work
well
good
for
for
us.
more than one. Yeah.
Oh, well,
Exactly.
no, I'm really strong. Look at how strong I am.
Yeah, well, maybe if you
this number now.
maybe if you show us where Eyebrows is, then that might be a new employment opportunity.
Oh yeah, I'll bring you down to the creamery. Hold on. let me just tell my boss I gotta go.
Okay.
And he walks away. He's connected, or like whispering, so he's obviously connected to somebody that's bad, but like the only group of people he's connected with is lean meat. I mean, really,
Yeah, I don't know.
everything else he said is idiotic. Like, 'cause nothing is worthwhile.
Yeah. It might not be the worst to hire him for muscle when we need it.
That's true. I guess might as well. He ought to know the town a little bit.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, it looks like he's a dead end as far as information goes. He just starts crying.
Yeah.
I heard that.
I
was right here.
I didn't
even
see this thing.
My ears are strong.
I just turned my back. I didn't even walk a step.
Yeah, he comes back and he's like, he said I could go with you to show you where it is.
Oh, wonderful.
All right. I mean, if you guys hire me, I could show you around all over.
Like we said, let's take it one step at a time.
Alright.
And then sure, probably maybe.
All right, so he heads with you, and he'll tell you like,
Oh, I showed you this working for
then her stomach growls like mine is.
And then
So I'm hungry.
All right.
She was eating a cheeseburger the whole time.
no, she got her cheeseburger and was sitting on her desk
And
when
she
we
was
walked
really
in.
waiting for it.
She was like,
She put it in her desk drawer. No, but yeah. So
This amount of ketchup is dishonorable.
economically ruined this.
Is it my turn to chew on the
one
penny?
person.
Is this the mice and men guy?
yeah, it's funny.
There was a woman with rabbit-like features who I accidentally crushed.
You didn't answer no more questions after that.
Jesus.
So
Temple's look or your look, Austin?
Sorry.
he says, yeah. He said,
Doesn't suit.
I.
It's my daughter's
Hold on.
birthday party.
It was my daughter's birthday party. I got a cake for her, but oh boy, I got hungry.
No.
It was a bad day for more than one reason.
There was a stripper in that cake.
For your daughter?
She was the stripper.
After I ate the whole thing, I had a lot of explaining to do.
Yeah.
Got cake drunk.
City of Lies is Toan as Kakita Aji, Brandon as Hida Ishii, David as Bayushi Taiyo, Andrew as Agasha Yugare, and Austin as your game master. The theme music for City of Lies is Mission of Danger by Lobo Loco. This American Dice Ryoko Owari City of Lies uses the City of Lies box set by Greg Stolz, published by Alderac Entertainment Group. The mechanics used is a modified PBTA system by Brendan Taylor of Galileo Games. Join us next time for more This American Dice.